Hey guys, Scott Patton here, and this is what's happening on Chickamauga. And this is what's happening on Chickamauga. I know it's been probably a couple weeks since I've done one of these, and I've kept waiting for the weather to change, and it really hasn't changed much. You know, it's cooled off a little bit today. It felt more like fall today than it has in a while. You know, it's been getting down, you know, in the mid 60s at night, and then it's been climbing back up, you know, 84, 85, 87 degrees every single day. No wind, you know, and not a cloud in the sky either. And it's really made for tough conditions. And it's been tough getting that topwater bite going a lot too. We've had, you know, might be able to get one or two in the morning and it dies real quick. And then I've had to go to my old trusted chatterbait and my crankbait to catch them. But I'm gonna kind of go through what I've been doing. I'm still doing a whole lot that I was doing a couple weeks ago, but I'm getting them on a couple different baits. So I'm gonna go through it and hopefully this will help you guys out some. Okay. Of course, I'm still throwing my jackhammer. Is probably my bait I'm catching most of my fish on. These fish I've been catching, they've been back in the creeks, they've been on flats and stuff, and I'm using my active target to scan around and look for the balls of bait, and I'm seeing fish chase bait on the outside edge of the grass, right on inside the grass, depending on what time of day it is, but most of them have been right on that break line of that grass in about 3 to 4 foot of water. But I've been throwing a shad pattern one. It's got a gold blade, seems like it's been working best for me. You know, like I said, just, you know, this is a basic white and black one. And I've been throwing a 1/2 ounce versus a 3/8 ounce. And the reason for that is because I've gotten the biggest part of my bites. When I'm throwing that thing back there and crawling it through the grass, I'm slow cranking, I'm gonna hit that grass, I'm gonna jerk that bait out of there. And that's when we catch probably 80% of our fish throughout the day, is when we make that quick jerk and that bait flies up and let it fall a little bit, boom, and it eats it. And I've been using my POW, this is my 705 endurance rod. This rod is fantastic for it. I'm throwing it on 17-pound test fluorocarbon, Seagull fluorocarbon. It's got a good backbone to it. That way, you don't want to use a rod too soft when you're using baits or you're jerking baits out of grass, you guys, because if you do, it's not going to jerk it free. You're just going to jerk your bait out there and it's going to be covered in grass. The key is having a rod stiff enough when you jerk it that bait comes free of the grass, and that way that's when that fish is going to strike it. So if you're having trouble jerking that bait free of the grass, a lot of times it's probably because you're using a rod with too soft of a tip. So this POW Endurance 703 is a great rod for that. But anyways, that's what I've been throwing the majority of the day, during the day, even in the mornings, and catch them on that. Now, I've also, just in the last 2 days, started throwing, because I was, you know, going over these fish, and I'm seeing them down there chasing bait, and we just keep making passes over them. You know, I can't get them to hit a fast-moving bait, say like a, you know, a rattling bait or anything like that. But I have been catching some good ones on Lucky Craft 1.5 square bill in the chartreuse shad pattern, that right there. I'm throwing it on a 7-foot rod, POW rod too. This is a diesel, but I'm just throwing this thing and slow cranking it, hitting the grass. Again, I'm jerking it free of the grass, and they're eating that thing when I do that. And we've caught them around wood on this square bill. If you find a brush pile or a stump or something out there, I know where some stumps are. We've been catching fish off those stumps and stuff. But that's been working again in the flats back there, you guys, in the backs of the creeks. Again, I'm throwing 17-pound test fluorocarbon on pretty much on everything except for my top water. Like today, you know, we finally got some cloud cover, some wind. We had a beautiful morning. We had a fantastic morning this morning. We caught all kinds of fish. We caught them on chatterbait, on the crankbait, caught some flipping, and we also caught several throwing top water. And the key is it's top water, just throw it out there. Seems like they want that thing kind of moving slow. Throwing out there, walking it, letting it set, walking it and letting it set. And it seemed like if you just using a bait where you could change like a buzz bait or a whopper plopper like that. We did catch one today on whopper plopper though. But the majority of the fish we caught were on a popping bait or like on the Lucky Craft Gunfish 115 in chrome, shad patterns, bone color like that's been real good too, you guys. Throwing it back on these grass flats. You know, today they were pretty shallow. They dropped the lake some last night. Them fish were shallow early. They kind of moved out some a little bit later in the day. And then after about 11, 12 o'clock, it kind of slowed down. And then we went to flipping a little bit and flipping wood and stuff and caught some good fish, flipping a Z-crawl with that like a 3/8 ounce pro tungsten on it and 20-pound test line. But that's kind of, you know, this is short, it's sweet, but it's, you know, it's what's been happening down here, you guys, on Chickamauga. We catching just a few fish on a frog. It's just not got there yet. We got to get rid of these warm days, guys. And the same thing I said a couple of weeks ago, but we're still getting them. Like I said, it cooled off some today, and it's supposed to rain again tonight. It'll be raining in the morning. I expect a good bite tomorrow on our trip tomorrow. The wind and rain is so critical. If you get those, you know, get those kind of conditions, you're gonna be able to catch fish a lot easier than when it's just dead slick and sunny out there. But this is kind of what's happening on Chickamauga for me right now. Like I say, I know this is short, but if you guys are looking to book a trip, frog season's, I'm telling you, frog season's right around the corner. Great top order, you know, not just frog season, but great top order fishing and shallow water grass fishing is just around the corner. And if you guys want to book a trip, you get a hold of me. It's 731-227-9499 or scottpattonfishing.com. You guys, I appreciate it if you subscribe and leave me a comment and let me know how you guys been doing on your fishing, if you've been able to catch them, get anything figured out. And we will see you on the water, guys. I appreciate you watching. Thanks.